Well, hello again, everybody. A little off on my timing on that intro. There's some Windows updates that happened and that threw a whole bunch of settings off. Of course, we got a big update this week in iRacing. That's throwing some stuff off. Also did an update on the graphic settings in iRacing, and that threw some stuff off. So we are good to be here for the time being, I think. Welcome. Hello again, everybody. I'm Gary Godsoe. Welcome to Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR Championship Weekend. It is Championship Friday here for Round 8 of Season 4 of the VOR Iconic Series. We're coming to you from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Joining me shortly, not here in the booth yet, but always reliable, is Kyle Klendworth. He will be here shortly. But we are about 2 minutes and 17 seconds away from going racing here at the 1.5 mile oval in the desert just outside of Sin City. We currently have qualifications underway. Godsoe provisionally on the pole, 224.8. O'Sullivan, 224.5. Now, you saw there are the weather conditions on your screen right there. 83 degrees ambient, 85 degrees track temperature. It is going to be probably a packy race today. But as you saw coming into the intro, there is the season's points. And here are the conditions going into today, by the way. That's that. There's this right here. Here are the conditions coming into today. And we will be pitting off the backstretch, if you notice that little red line. And that will keep things in check. That's backstretch during green. If it's under yellow, they can come in off of 4. But let's get the points in here. Boom, there they go. It is going to be a heck of a battle for 2nd, 4th, and 7th. So really, the podium's yet to be decided other than the top step, which is Julian, who clinched the championship last race at Michigan. And there you see only 5 points separating 2nd and 3rd. And then 4th is all tied up. And then 7th, there's only 1 point separating Hugo Gallas and Daniel Hesche for 7th and 8th. So it should be pretty interesting. And Forsyth really not too bad there in 6th, even though he's classified in 6th, but he's not out of the 4th battle for 4th yet either. So lots of stuff still to go for this race in terms of how the championship might be decided. We are 32 seconds away from getting this field set. Santos down the pole to 224.9. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoy Velocity's online racing coverage of the VOR Iconic Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid to make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future VOR iRacing broadcasts, including tomorrow, Championship Saturday of the IndyCar Championship. It will be right here at Las Vegas. We will crown a champion as the top 3 in the points there are really... I think actually the top 2 in the points there. So we will be deciding the champion as the top 2 are really left mathematically to decide that championship for the IndyCar Series. But now we are getting ready to go racing here at Lost Wages. And Santos on the pole, 224.9. Right next to him is our now series champion, Julian Altena, with the 224.9 as well. Not too far off the pace in row 2 is Godsoe, the 224.8. O'Sullivan looking to solidify that podium finish here in the points at 224.5, lining up 4th. Gretchen Christensen on row 3. Miller and Salvazzi back on row 4. Coker and Inch on row 5. Gallas hot off a podium finish in the ISRA Open Wheel Series on Monday, lines up inside of row 6, and Steiger back next to him in the 94. 223.4 was his average speed. Back in row 7 is Bonnie, and then on the no qualification speed is Jesper Orman running on the outside of row 7. And then in the last row, shotgun in the field, Pesci and Yellen with no speed. That's our 16-car field. Still loading in here. And now we begin the move. While we are coming up to speed, I want to thank everybody for joining us once again here on the VOR channel. It is important here that you do like this video and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share it with a friend as well to get more IndyCar fans interested and also to help the algorithm send the right fans our way. $134 laps to go tonight. It's a 1.5 mile D-shaped oval, 134 laps, 200 miles. Pit road speed limit is 50 miles an hour. 4 sets of tires, 3 in the pits, 1 on the car. 85% fuel, which is approximately 15.7 gallons. No green-white checkers. IndyCar wave-around rule being enforced. Getting ready to go green, coming off of corner number 4 at Las Vegas. Pace car will turn down, giving the field over to Santos. And here we go for 200 miles on this Friday afternoon. As a little bit of a herky-jerky start for a number of drivers. And Griffin Yellen just sending it on the outside. Big jump, but the outside pass is open if you get to the start-finish line. Now he's below the white line. He can't be there. And they go side by side on the yellow, on the white line, almost getting loose. Now he's up to 6th or 7th already. And Donskoy leads the opening lap, but Griffin Yellen up 11 spots by a monster restart. And look at him on the outside, trying to slide in there in front of Alexander Miller. But there just wasn't enough room. Now he's going to be outside of Gretsch. One of Jay Howard's drivers, former real-life real-world Indy 500 starter. And we got 2 lines forming right now. We got Silvazzi and Yellen on the high side trying to start that high line. Who's going to join them right now? Everyone wants to stay low. It is Donskoy. It is O'Sullivan. It is Gretsch. It is Miller. It is Christensen. It is Altena on the bottom. And Griffin Yellen slides into the bottom. Nope, he's going to stay on the top, try to get a run. I don't think we're going to see a lot of passing on the high side. It's going to be a much like what we saw on the ISRA on Monday night over on the P1 channel, where the high side just was not really fast enough unless the bottom line was fuel saving. Griffin Yellen gets that rear wing under the attenuator of Donskoy. And we'll get a real good shot of it right here with Donskoy on the out of his gearbox. I think Donskoy might have let him go. He did. He's like, I'm having enough of that. I'm just going to fall in line and save some fuel and let Yellen go straight to the front. So Yellen, in a period of 8 laps, goes from the back of the field to the front of the field, up 15 spots to be your leader here on lap 8. Griffin Yellen defending that bottom line like it's the last lap, going below the white line. You can do that. There is no out of bounds. Top line starting to come in. Julian on the high side. He is wanting to get up there to take a peek. A lot of jockeying around in the middle and low lanes. That's probably why he's setting them high. A lot of unpredictability. Steiger now comes up on the high side. And that Skull Bandit with the bright green wheels throwback. Along the lines of what Tom Sneva drove in the late 80s. Mid-80s, late 80s. Getting a run on the high side. Julian's going to stick with him. The whole field throw under a blanket. Except for Jesper Orman, who I think started from the pits. He is dead last at the moment, but we'll give him a moment to catch back up, especially if we get a yellow. But the last car in line is the Brazilian, Daniel Hesje, who finished on the podium in our last race. He's just letting things play out in front of him. Same thing for our pole setter. Santos back to 11th, just rotting in line, saving some fuel. Meanwhile, back on the high side, up front, Altena now 6th. He's in front of, right behind Steiger there, the 94. 94 is on the high side. They've been starting the second line for the last couple laps. See if it comes in. Ooh, a lot of jockeying for position. Whoa. Track record here at Las Vegas, not set under this configuration. It was the original, more flat configuration. Ari Leindijk and that 95 Renard back in 1996. Back before, it was the last race of the Indy Racing League with the turbocharged, I guess call them kart hand-me-down cars. But that was 96, speed 226.491. The current configuration held by Tony Kanaan back in 2011. Fortunately, that ill-fated race. Oh, we're going to go 3 wide with Donskoy in the middle. And Steiger keeps it on the high side. Donskoy tucks back in. Steiger looking for a little bit of a side draft, and there's not much side draft. Now he goes to the bottom, but he picks the draft of O'Sullivan, tries to get a run on the high side. There is not much side draft in this. The thing you're going to worry about if you try to play around with side draft here is you're going to probably hit netcode, and you don't want to hit that netcode barrier. Again, that Steiger kind of not holding his line right now, making it tough for drivers behind him to kind of hold still with the unpredictable line. Julian flirting with the top, running out of room. The driver kind of jockeying for position above the leader. Tony Kanaan has a track record of 222.0 for that ill-fated 2011 race. The car track record, Kart raced here a couple times. Back in 2004, Patrick Carpentier, the speed of 206. And they, back in those kart races here, back in those days, they drove with tons of downforce. So pretty much it was kind of like a race like this. A lot of drafting, pack race. Whoa! Not very high speeds. The career wins leaders here at Vegas, Sebastian Bourdais won 2 of those races when kart came here. And our good friend from the ISRA and Lionheart Series, Richie Hearn, has 1 win among many others that have raced here, but no more than 2 is Sebastian Bourdais. 18 of 134, and pretty aggressive driving up at the front. A lot of drivers not holding lines. Julian's going to go to the inside of Steiger. Nope, he backs back out. There's nothing to lose in this race for Julian. If he wrecks out earlier, He's got this championship clinched, so the ones to lose are the drivers behind him, who are all battling out for positions in the championship. It's Yellen, Steiger, Altena, O'Sullivan, Salvazzi, Miller, now Gretsch, Donskoy, Christensen, Bonnie. Your top 10. Throw everybody on that top 10 under a blanket at the moment. Top 10, all less than a second. Edson Santos right at a second. Still a long ways to go, though. Many of these drivers are probably seeing this action in front of them. It's like, I'm just going to stay pat and see if there's going to be a big wreck here. I don't blame them for doing such a thing. Down the backstretch, going 3 wide, 2 wide. A little bit further on back, right behind him with Miller and Donskoy. Miller and Salvazzi, excuse me. Of course, the question is how are we going to do pit stops tonight? I think we do have Clindy in the booth with us. Clindy, how's it going?
Can you hear me, Gary?
I hear you, and you sound great.
Thank you.
Oh, and there's a car turning around, yelling 3 cars into the wall, 4 cars now, upside down. There's Salvazzi involved, Yellen involved, Miller involved.
All these guys were just kind of hanging out right behind the leaders.
Let's see what happened here.
Looks like Yellen did not check up on corner exit for Alexander Miller.
Yeah, he just kind of ran right into the back of Miller.
I think Miller might be A-okay. Maybe a little of right rear suspension damage on that CW12.
And I think it's, who else was involved there? Is that Gretsch? Yeah, Gretsch was involved in that one, too. He was kind of an innocent bystander. Let's watch a little bit from his point of view. There you see, he's right behind Yellen. Yellen is going to cut down here and have a big, big run. He's using the drafted cars in front of him. He's going to get a big run. And he's going to get a big run down the middle of the corner. Uses the banking as well, and it just kind of gets into the back.
And if you don't watch a fun onboard, you should tune in with Shane Coker.
All right, we're going to watch Shane Coker here. Here is his onboard. He's watching well down the road. You can tell kind of how he has his car positioned and where he is behind Santos. Look at this. Whoa. And just watching Salvazzi on his lid. Which direction do I go?
Yeah, you know, he's not steering. So.
And so we got pit stops underway.
So I think we might have seen that because a lot of drivers were sticking their left sides as close to the white line as possible. And I think it's possible Yellen might have thought that the bottom lane was going to be where the car in front of him, where Miller was going to go. And so Yellen kind of anticipated Miller hugging the white line on corner exit when he was kind of okay, just running in the middle of the bottom lane.
So now it is Steiger, O'Sullivan, Donskoy, Christensen, Santos. Go ahead.
I was going to say, anytime you crack the throttle here, you lose so much momentum. You just fall back through the pack. You've got to keep that right foot planted if you want to go forward or maintain your position.
Yeah, even in these cars in their trimmed out condition, the amount of downforce that they produce is in the thousands of pounds. And just coming off the accelerator here is effectively like hitting an air brake. And you're going to slow down really quick just because of all that downforce on the car. Never mind really hitting a brake. So if he cracks the throttle a little bit and the car is at full speed behind him, yeah, they're going to end up on top of one another in almost no time. So Steiger stays out. He's opted to not stop here, while everybody behind him has decided to come in and top off and go for new tires.
I think you've got to at least get fuel here. You can't risk being the only car to pit under green. But the lights are out on the pace car, so...
It's too late now. And Jesper has caught the rest of the pack. He's now up to 11th. Brecht is 12th. Altena came in for a top off. He's 13th. Coker is shown out. I didn't think he had any contact with anybody, but he is shown out. He is a lap down. Yellen in the pit road, a lap down. Silvazzi showing still repaired on pit road. Coming to green now under the command of Steiger. Very slow restart.
Green flag, green flag.
And he waits until literally they hear the green flag call in the radios.
It's a New Garden Gateway start right there. Here comes Liam O'Sullivan.
Yeah, and he's going to have Donskoy helping him on the high side. Oh, he swaps over, goes to the bottom side.
Crossover.
What a move! And that right there is just experience with these cars and experience at racing at this track. This is Steiger's first start in the series. Kind of reminds me of that.
Steiger saw that move. And
yep. Kind of reminds me of that.
Thinking, oh, I could do that too.
I could do that. But it really reminds me of, the longer you drive these cars, the more experienced you are, the more that you know the tricks. And kind of really reminds me of, you might be a skilled driver in other cars, but unless you drive these cars and are used to IndyCar restarts and that sort of thing, you're really not going to know that trick. It kind of reminds me of how Nigel Mansell kind of got caught out in the 93 Indy 500 in the late restart there when Emo kind of dropped a little IndyCar knowledge on him in the late stages there of that 500 to get the win. So that's kind of what that incident reminds me is that experience in these cars matter. And that's what we just saw right there. Liam O'Sullivan fighting for a podium finish in the championship and gets the drop on the restart on Steiger. Crosses over, gets the pass for the lead. Steiger trying to get it back on the high side, but he's going to learn real quick that the best he can do is just kind of pull alongside and not be able to pull that pass off unless, and this is what we saw in that ISRA race on Monday night where you were in it, Clindy, unless there's any type of fuel saving going on that bottom line.
I don't want to talk about Monday. I made a big mistake.
Well, there's still Kentucky on Monday.
I made two big mistakes, actually.
Whoa! Fights underneath the white line. And that's what happened. Liam O'Sullivan left the door open a little bit. It's going to be one of those type of right. Here comes Sullivan at the bottom. Oh, Steiger just gives him the Brazilian clear across the nose.
I think the gloves are off for O'Sullivan.
Yeah, no kidding.
He is irate on the radio.
Who?
O'Sullivan.
I bet. Oh, jeez.
Watch for a move on the apron here on the front stretch. It's shorter. Race control reminding us that the apron is off limits.
Oh, race. Okay. Race control says off limits. I thought the front stretch was on. I guess it must be the last. That's it. The last lap. Last lap is its limits.
Hey, I missed driver intro and rulebook reading, so I'm not going to pretend to know. I just want to watch.
Well, now I'm riding with John Christensen, who has all this happening in front of him. And Donskoy all of a sudden falling back, so I think he's had enough of whatever was going up at the front.
You know, a little bit of candy is fine. Too much candy rots your teeth.
Right. Oh.
Hey, what's our catchphrase, Gary? Apron bad?
Apron bad. Oh.
Man, he is like a dart without feathers out there. Steiger, back it down a click. He can't drive away from you.
I guess kind of just hold your line and be predictable right now. I think it's kind of causing everybody behind to go check up a little bit and kind of keep their distance.
Steiger has been given his final warning from the stewards, so if he does it again, I expect him to get a black flag. Oh, no, there he goes. He's pulling over. He's quitting. Or he's taking a penalty? Julian didn't say he was given a penalty. He just said last warning. Interesting.
He's slowing it down, trying to bring it down to pit road speed limits. I don't think he got a penalty, but we'll see what happens here.
Not an iRacing penalty. He might have been given a penalty via text chat that I was not able to see. Or he might just be out of fuel, Gary. He didn't stop.
That's right. That's a scheduled stop. And he's trying to find his marks. He came too close to the wall. And there he goes. He's up on the wheel.
He's going to be 2 laps down here, if not more.
And here comes Christensen with battling O'Sullivan, his teammate, and Edson Santos, who very early on started from the pole but went to the back. And then here comes the new Las Vegas Whisperer, Hugo Gallas, hot off a podium on Monday night. He is currently 5th right now, and here comes Steiger coming up to speed. No one really wanting to give him draft on the backstretch.
Well, I think Steiger's going to claw tooth and nail here to get down to 1 lap down, because 1 lap down is a world of difference from 2. If you're 1 lap down and a caution comes out, you stay out on the track and you get waved around to the lead lap. If you're 2 laps down, you just get waved to 1 lap down. There's no other cars 1 lap down.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in the draft of Hugo up there, or Jesper.
But he does have the draft there of Kyle Gretsch. Julian back in 12th right now, just riding this thing out. Donskoy and Gallas, 5th and 6th.
I do have an update on Shane Coker. He had a mechanical malfunction. When he was pitting, his wheel was not acting correctly, so he went to reset it, and it froze up all of iRacing.
Oh. So a bona fide mechanical.
We have another taker on pit road this lap. 73 and 52 are both coming in. That's Gretsch and Ench.
Scheduled stop, huh? As you see them, they're coming off. Yeah, on the backstretch, everybody coming in. So we got Inch. We have Liam O'Sullivan. We have Donskoy with Gretsch. Only 20 laps into this thing. So this is a scheduled stop. A little bit of gamesmanship going on here.
Tony on pit road this time by. And Hashi. Christensen this time by. Santos stays out and inherits the lead.
Nice jump by Liam on the restart there, coming off the cone zone. Got Donskoy to help him.
Yeah, Gallas did a great job getting down to pit road. He eliminated the gap between himself and Christensen.
Santos now all by himself. That's maximum fuel burn unless he's cracking the throttle. Here he comes, pit road. He's going 21, so now he's realizing that the rest of the field is coming in, so it probably he needs to and should probably do the exact same thing. So Alexander Miller now picks up the lead. He is 22 laps into his stint. And he might just stay out there and go as far as he can. I think the math is starting to show that there's going to be a late stop if you don't stop now. He's out there with Steiger.
Multiple strategies. Whenever you have a race with more than one strategy, it's always kind of fun to see which one you think is going to work out better for the drivers.
Well, actually, it might be better for Miller just to let Steiger go and follow him. Maybe extend this run by a lap or so. Try to save some fuel. Meanwhile, Julian is back in the leading the next group of leaders, him and Orman. They both came in 23 laps ago on lap 29. So they are on the same schedule as Miller. So they're just going to stay out. Might as well, I think, at this point. Everybody else had just stopped on the second schedule. So we got two strats going on. We have the Miller, Altena, Orman strategy, which is just stay out and go long. And Edson Santos has worked his way up to fourth. With John Christensen right behind him. And they stopped at lap 50. And so it might be that, can they do a 50, 50, 34? I don't think so. I think they still have two more stops to go. Donskoy on the apron.
And those 50 laps were aided by laps under caution. So I would think that they're going to be hard-pressed to find 50 laps of fuel in a green flag run.
Yeah, I think we're looking at two more stops at least for everybody.
Donskoy also on the flat again. They take the white line away for pit road entry, so it's really hard to see where that... It's not dotted like it is here in 1 and 2, so it's hard to tell where the banking falls away from the racing surface. I think he's just really trying to get into Christensen's draft, but...
Okay, we got a pit stop from Miller here on lap 27 of his stint, lap 55 of the race. That's going to put Julian up in the front, and I don't know what happened to Julian. I don't know if he was trying to get out of the way and he was just going to lend the lead to Jesper and kind of just draft off him, but he had a really high exit. Jesper got a big run on the low side. Now we have a new leader, Jesper Orman, who started shotgun on the field. And actually, I believe he started from the pits. So that last caution allowed him to catch up to the rest of the field. He was running by himself for a long time. He is now your leader. He is 28 laps into his current stint. And Julian just following behind now.
I think that was a fuel implicated lead change.
Let's ride along with our series champion. He clinched last race in Michigan. The guy in front of him is in a battle for the IndyCar Championship. You'll see that tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Ryan Eric King, right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, right here on the VOR channel. Make sure to subscribe. Ring the bell.
You'll see me make a fool of myself on the Speedway.
You're going to be in
again.
the racetrack tomorrow.
I'll be sporting a Scott Dixon paint scheme.
Tomorrow is a throwback livery race, former IndyCar champions.
All right, good news, bad news for Christian Steiger. Good news is he's back to 1 lap down. Bad news is he's not in touch with anyone at all due to how long it took him on pit road.
There he is all by himself. Weather conditions. We got a pretty good lineup tomorrow night of throwback liveries. Some people have changed. Some have broken the rules. There's a lot of confusion about IndyCar or Indy 500 winners being IndyCar champions. Do you know? And this was on the actually we talked about this on the Monday broadcast. Clindy, I don't know if you watched the Monday broadcast. I don't blame you because of what happened to you if you didn't watch it or not. That do you know the last IndyCar champion to win the Indy 500 the next season?
The next season or the same season?
No, so you win the 500, and then you win the IndyCar championship. So Alex Palou, right? And then for him to win to be the answer to this trivia question, he would need to win the Indy 500 in May. So yeah,
the Indy 500.
You're the current national champion winning the Indy 500. You know the last driver to do that.
Is it Helio?
No, Helio never won the IndyCar championship.
Okay. Man, is it Dario Franchitti?
It is Dario Franchitti. Last did it in 2011. Now there's an interesting.
Ever win an Indy 500?
Yes, 2006 at an extraordinarily hot race where he edged out Marco Andretti right at the line.
He won his championships in the early 2000s, right? Like 2001, 2002.
Yeah, very, very early. And Julian coming to pit road off entrance of corner number 3. This is a scheduled stop for Julian with 37 laps. There's also another interesting, couple of interesting answers to that trivia question. 98 national champion Kenny Brack won in 99. A IndyCar champion with an asterisk next to his name now, and it is now because of the merger of the two series, it is now accepted that there are several drivers that won a championship while there was a competing league going on, and one of which of those is Juan Montoya. He won the 99 IndyCar championship and then came in 2000 and won the 2000 Indy 500 as a kart driver. So that's kind of the asterisk to that question.
So catching up on pit stops, Liam O'Sullivan came in on back-to-back laps and is now 5 laps down.
He must have sped. Well, I'm showing a minute 3 in the pits. I don't know if he had some. You might want to maybe check and see if he did. Did we have some damage?
I didn't see any damage on his car, unless he and Steiger actually made contact and it messed up his suspension, but he didn't have a meatball. So
Jesper Orman with a nasty twitch coming off of corner number 4. See if he comes to pit road this time. He's 41 laps into his stint. Yes.
He is pitting this time.
Yep. And not sure what happened to Liam, but that is going to probably impact whether or not he gets a podium finish. Again, let's bring up the points while we watch Jesper Orman, who's going to be in the running for the IndyCar Championship tomorrow, making a rare one-off appearance here in the Iconic Series in that throwback to Michael Andretti. We'll bring up the driver points here. Yeah, that's going to really, really hurt Liam. That might have actually decided that where he's going to finish then if Edson Santos just simply, very, very simply finishes ahead of him at this rate.
So if you're an O'Sullivan fan, you're hoping for trouble in the Santos camp. And that's pretty much the only way.
And he is your leader right now. So it is all coming up Edson. Before Julian clinches the championship, he was the defending series champion. actually had himself a very good season. Started it off with a win at Indianapolis.
Something I'm going to be interested to see here is if Miller, Donskoy, and Gallus can work together, maybe orchestrating 3-car swaps to catch Santos and Christensen at the front. Because if they don't, I think Santos and Christensen are long, long gone. And it looked like 36, 37 laps is about all you can stretch from a fuel tank under green here. So I think, so that would put Santos in at like 88. But then he wouldn't be able to make it to the finish.
Well, you know, we know he's a master of saving. We've heard him a number of times on post-race interviews talk about how he's managed to save. We're watching this second group, by the way, Miller, Donskoy, and Gallus. You were just talking about them.
The two drivers who are good to go with just one more stop, without a doubt, are Altena and Orman. They'll come in shortly after lap 100, and that'll take them all the way to the finish.
And you need to excuse Clendy. He's had himself a long day. He's been playing nurse a little bit today. Hope all well's at home.
Yeah, sorry for yawning on mic. Didn't mean to implicate anything about the broadcast. Just...
No, it's helping take care of family members. Part of that vow you do when you get married. So
in sickness and in health, for
yep.
better or worse.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if Santos thought he could possibly save enough, he would be behind Christensen, just letting Christensen break the air for him. I think they're probably resigned to 2 stops at this point in time. Nothing these front 5 can really do to stave off the inevitable lack of fuel they'll find themselves short of at the end of the race here. Silvazzi is back out on track. He's about to go a natural lap down after getting his damage repaired from skidding on the top of his tub.
Yeah, he's
Really
out there for some valuable
still
points.
Operational.
Yeah, he's really out there for some valuable points. Let's watch, see how he's tracking. He seems to be tracking mostly straight. The wheel's a little offset to the right. Let's see what lap times he's turning.
25 flats. He's really not that slow. He's about a half a second off the pace.
A 24.8 that time by, so
Picked it up.
not too. I mean, that's exactly what the leaders did. So he's not too bad. And once again, Christensen just not leaving the tire tracks of Santos.
This is exactly what I was doing behind Mark Murphy on Monday night. Just stick it right in under the attenuator, save as much fuel as you can, hope for the best.
I think that second group is starting to catch him a little bit. Let's show you the gaps. That's the key stat right there. Miller, a second and a half back. Once he gets in within about a second, he's going to be in that draft envelope. If he was in an IR18, he'd definitely be in the draft envelope right now. But
he's chipping away half a tenth a lap. I wonder if Santos is just micro-lifting on the straightaways. He's almost a whole tenth faster or again, half a tenth. Scorecard didn't update quickly enough. But half a tenth, 3 laps in a row, that's a tenth and a half. Down to 1.5 seconds.
1.4 now.
Half a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Christensen says, I want to race, but he tucks back in. I think maybe he just had to had a little bit of a wide exit there. Now he's tucking back
maybe
in.
He thinks Santos is going slow, and he's thinking maybe it'd be better off finding lap time and sacrificing the fuel economy. A Miller will be there in 2 laps if they keep this pace differential up. More than a 1/10 of a second faster there for Miller. He's going to reel these guys in a hurry.
Actually, Christensen's lifting, and we're riding with him right now, looking out the back to a ever charging, getting bigger in the screen here. Miller. He is down there. Big lift that time for Christensen coming off a 2. And it looks like Miller is kind of broken away from the battle of Gallons and Donskoy. I think they've decided they're going to save. I think Miller said, you know what, this is my first race. I'm here to win. I want to lead. I'm just going to go to the front.
Oh, he was here at Michigan.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Sorry, Alexander. It's amazing how my memory remembers certain things and forgets others.
Well, that's why I'm here, Gary.
That's why I'm glad, yeah. We had a big update this week in iRacing. Car coming to pit road. That might be Hugo Gallas, I think. No, that is Donskoy. Donskoy coming to pit road. Scheduled stop for Donskoy. 42 laps. So this is gonna. He might have to stop again. No, it's gonna be really close.
We'll have to save one more lap.
You'll have to save one more lap.
Or, you know, maybe they're pitting right now with a 1/4 gallon in the tank, you know, which is just enough to do almost a whole lap.
Do a short fill and then, short fill-ish. Also coming in, that's Dan Inch on pit road there.
Miller is fighting for the lead here. He's going to scream past Santos.
Well, Santos comes to pit road, and that's going to leave good timing for Christensen because he's going to sit there and just get more fuel mileage. Hey, do want to thank... go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I wonder if the pit commit from Santos there was late. He did not... Oh, he hit the pit wall coming to pit road. He locked up the brakes really badly. Santos is out.
Okay, let's take a look at that and see what happened. We watch him coming down off the banking. And we'll get to the TV pits group of cameras here and see what happens. Braking. Now you're braking and turning. That's very difficult. And then coming down to this line, you want to get on the limiter, and the back end comes around, and he noses right into the wall. And that's pretty much day done. So
Merry Christmas, Liam O'Sullivan.
Merry Christmas indeed. He'll need to pass him though in the standings. He's still is still a lap or two behind, and he's coming to pit road. He needs to do this very carefully. Or he's coming off of pit road, so he just completed his stop. And the next car he passes in 2 laps will be Santos. Miller is your leader. He last stopped 39 laps ago. He is coming to pit road right now. While we were watching that incident, Christensen came to pit road. He is back on the racetrack. and he is behind Bonnie.
Orman and Altena remain on the racetrack. So these two are going to have to look up to make up the difference from the saving they did prior. So basically, they got all their saving out of the way with their alternate strategy / that last stint running a little long. They're going to try to short fill and run hard to the end here to make up time on everyone else who might have to save just a little bit to make it to the finish. I think almost every car that has just put under green should be able to make it to the finish, with the exception of maybe Kyle Gretsch and Dan Ench, because they came in the earliest of all the takers.
We'll update everybody on last laps pitted, but I do want to shout out Bonnie. He has been the chief beneficiary of the Iconic Series and financial supporter of it. And it is brought to you by IFS Personal Financial Planning. IFS Personal Financial Planning specializes in helping their clients make the most out of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over the course of their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for over 20 years, helping them navigate complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and the ever-changing legislative landscape. To learn more, you want to contact this guy right here on your screen, Alexander Bonnie, at alex@ifspfp.com. Again, that is alex@ifspfp.com. Link is in the description. I want to thank him for his season-long, stand on the wall, buddy, season-long support of bringing this Iconic Series to you. He's the guy you got to thank right there. And we will be bringing you next season's Iconic Series just as well as a result of Alexander. So, again, thank him again, everybody, as he is currently right now on the racetrack in the top 10, one lap down.
Well, he's tracking the leaders right now. If he can catch their draft and position himself in front of them, he'll get that lap back. Well, who will be the leaders?
Who will be the lead, yeah.
Once Altena and Orman pit.
At 34 laps for Altena, 30 laps for Orman. 27 for Daniel Hesche. He will have to stop here soon. He went 25 on his last stint, so he made his last stint short. Jaroslav Donskoy, 10 laps into his stint. Those are the biggest. Go ahead.
Donskoy did come over the comms and said he had a little bit of damage, so I think he's just trying to hang on with the draft.
And Dan Inch also 10 laps into his stint. Those are the longest stints at the moment. We believe that they might have to stop again or do some fuel saving. We'll see, though. Back up front, it is Jesper Orman and Julian Altena. Julian now the series champion. He'll get a chance to wear the number 1 next season if he'd like. And they have caught Kyle Gretsch on the front straight. Whether or not they're going to use him or lose him. They're going to lose him. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, Christensen getting some help from Liam O'Sullivan. And right with him is Donskoy. No, that is, that's Patrick Salvazzi. But that is not that whole 3-car battle right there. That's not a single battle for position. That's just a racetrack position.
What teammates are for if you're John Christensen? O'Sullivan's going to be towing him all the way to the finish line here.
Alexander Miller back and forth there.
It's going to come down to execution from Jesper, who's pitting in right now, and Julian, who will be pitting in soon, to see if they come out anywhere in touch with Christensen. Christensen's broken away from Miller by a fair margin here.
And to his marks, up on the jacks. And he'll be able to push this entire last stint if he chooses to do so. Final stop for Jesper Orman. And now we watch Julian. How long is he going to be? Right now, he'll have a lap lead on everybody if there's a caution.
Jesper will not be in the draft envelope of Silvazzi at the end of the lead trio.
No. Just missed it. But Julian Pitty now, as he's 41 laps, coming to 42 laps into for this stint. This will be his final stop.
So an interesting question will be if Julian Altena works with Jesper to try to hunt down Christensen, or if he plays a good teammate and defends against Jesper and drags him down to help Christensen get a win.
I would say that Julian will probably do everything, since he's got this championship all cinched up, to maybe help his teammate and then, get to the final 2 laps or so and then battle it out, maybe. But I could see him with the championship already in grasp here, maybe helping his teammate out. Julian, final stop for the season done for the series champion.
Quick stop, too. I think he might come out in touch with this lead trio.
Yep. Oh, I don't know.
No, not up to speed. Too much drag. Jesper's going to catch him here. And this is what I'm talking about. If Jesper and Julian work together, they can hunt down Christensen very easily. But if Julian refuses to play ball, they're just going to sit back here, 2.5 seconds behind Christensen. But Jesper can find an unlikely ally in Alexander Miller. Perhaps he and Miller can work together to catch Christensen, despite what Altena tries to do to slow them down.
Christensen, 18 laps into the stint, 24 to go. Christensen as a one-time winner here in the Iconic Series last season. Looking for win number 2. And if he can stay right with Liam and have Donskoy guarding his 6, he might be looking at win number 2.
It looks like Julian and Jesper are working together. They've already chopped off half a second or more of Christensen's lead.
Christensen won that series championship in season 1, I think. Yeah. Go back and find that, but in the inaugural season of the championship.
Oh, if I'm Alexander Miller, I have got a royal flush in my hand. I'm just gonna let Jesper and Julian do all the work for me.
Just ride them, right along.
Front, save a little bit of tire, save a little bit of fuel, and jump them all at the end. What a fortuitous turn of events for Miller.
Christensen won the third ever race of the Iconic Series at Phoenix in season 1 back in January. That was right about the time where the blackout broadcast ban was lifted. So I can't recall if that's a race that we did or not. I think it might be. Certainly like to see John get his second win, but we are still 20 laps away from getting that decided. And Julian and Orman and Miller are there. And Donskoy just says, okay, goes to the high side, lets them on by. Gonna let them. He's gonna let Silvazzi. Excuse me. Donskoy is in the tan car, the Axia car. Yep. And here's Julian side by side now. Who's Sullivan gonna help out? Now maybe Sullivan stays to the inside. Julian has the lead now. And here comes Jesper now to the bottom. Julian goes to the bottom. And now Christensen is clear. There he goes. Yeah, clear of O'Sullivan. Orman now clear. Orman to the bottom. I'm not sure why Christensen didn't protect the bottom. He might not be able to. Or he didn't expect Orman to be there so quick.
There's a lot of laps to go. I wouldn't mind being third or fourth here. It allows you to slingshot by both the leaders. Plus, I think Christensen might still be in conserve mode. He pit on 93. Miller pit on 96.
Whoa. So 134 minus, he said a 93, so that's 41. I mean, he did 44 on the last one, but he was right in the tire tracks of Santos pretty much the whole way.
Well, he had Liam's help this run, so we'll see how these top three shake out and where Christensen inserts himself towards the end here. We're coming down to the closing stages here at Vegas.
Yeah, once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching Velocity's online racing coverage of Championship Friday, round 8 of 8 of the VOR Iconic Series, coming to you from Las Vegas for the Las Vegas 200. Where currently Jesper Orman leads with 15 to go. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you'll miss out on the next race, which will be Friday, January 10th, as we open our next season at Texas Motor Speedway.
A trio of veterans being hounded by a newcomer. See if Miller's youth can come up and fight with these old heads' experience. And don't write off Christensen yet. I think he's just biding his time. He knows that there's still 12 laps to go.
And it's gonna be this group. It's right now. Gal is too far behind, 10 seconds behind this group to be a part of it, unless there's a caution. So what you're seeing right here is going to be the battle for the win.
We do have a few lapped cars up ahead that the leaders may catch.
That's Bonnie an inch just ahead of him. And Julian's got his car in a position where he's been a number of times before, especially in the IndyCar Championship, back in some of those earlier seasons, seasons 2, season 3, where we had some season-ending races here at Las Vegas. He had his car up on the high side, fighting for wins.
Christensen now switching to offense to the inside of Miller here.
Yeah, and he's not giving Miller much way to turn in. Miller is going to have the position. It is Orman, Altena, Miller at the line. 9 to go. Now, if I'm Miller, I'm also want to maximize a good finish. I do not want to crash out. I don't want to crash by trying to race somebody here. I also want to maximize this finish because people will know that you're a good, solid racer. They can race you if you can bring this car home. But at some
How
point,
sweet would a dub be?
Yeah,
Huh?
and at some point,
They'll really remember you then.
well, I'll see. At some point, does he decide to go to the bottom and stay there, and just try to go, kind of like what Hugo Gallas did on Monday, and just stay on the bottom and try to get that bottom step of the podium? But he is right now flirting with going high, 3 wide. Thing is if he gives up that spot and goes to the bottom, it's going to be instantly filled in by Christensen. 6 to go. Orman on the bottom. Julian still high. Orman drifting. I saw that coming.
They banged wheels.
Orman was drifting high coming down the back straight. He was trying to push Julian out, make that turn in a little bit wider. We see that again right there.
I'm tired of being pinched. I don't want to be pinched.
Mom, Jesper's pinching me. I mean, Julian's pinching me. Keep your hands to yourself.
You, yeah. Christensen's going to have a big run coming into one.
He wants it, he can sends it low. 4 to go. And here comes the lap traffic, yeah.
No, Sullivan's tacked back onto the back of this field.
And that's Donskoy, Gretsch, Gallus on that group.
Oh, they touch again. Altena and Orman.
3 to go, and we got lap traffic in the way.
This is going to be a mess.
Okay, I think Hugo's going to try to stay at the high side. He realizes he's got teammates involved in this one, so he's going to let them go. But the driver's in front. Heshe now,
Orman,
Gretsch,
Donskoy.
Oh! I thought we almost had contact.
Hammer. Let's see.
That's Heshe getting out of the way, I think. No, that's Gretsch, sorry. They're both in that yellow car. Julian now breaking away because he has Donskoy there. White flag in the air.
Orman's got one shot. It's going to be coming to the checker.
Julian to the bottom, going to guard the white line. Up high, here comes Jesper through 3 and 4. He needs to swap down now. Tries to get close as he can to the rear. They turn each other, and Miller wins. And I missed the finish. We're going to have to replay that. We're going to replay that at full speed.
Oh, and Miller got so lucky. If he had been a 100th of a second slower, he was getting collected.
All right, we're going to watch this again. Coming to the checkered flag, we're going to watch Julian and Orman take each other out. And I think he did get hit, and he gets the win. And I feel awful. That's his first win. I butchered the win by flipping to the wrong camera angle. It was so excited. Yeah, let's. We'll. What I want to do is I want to go back and. Okay, I think I want to. I want to show the. Let's go back to live. He's burning down the house here. Let's get him on TV doing some burnouts. There it is.
Painting a couple 4-leaf clovers there. Should go to the roulette table.
Yeah, for sure.
Put it on 25 black. Or maybe put it on green. 0 or 00.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about green cars. So that is good luck for a green car then, in a rare case. Okay, I want to replay that last. All right, here we got coming to the white flag right here. Let's watch him. Let's get the camera angle on Jesper there. And he just kind of gets turned at the line. He got a good run on him. I think might have loosened him up a little bit there coming off the corner.
I think he might have expected Altena to wrap the white line coming to the the checkered flag, and Altena did not. And then Netcode sends them together. Both of their connections coming from Central Europe, Northern Europe. So not like there's a huge ping difference between them. But Altena did kind of juke up off of corner exit well before any netcode would have come into play, just deviating from the white line. The leader has every right in the world to run whatever line they would like. They just have to know that the outside car probably expects them, or in this scenario, knows that they're going to try to cut that as low as possible.
Well, we are going to talk with Jesper because he is classified as finishing third.
We get to talk to him first.
Yeah, we'll get to talk to see what happened there. But Miller and his second, well, I guess according to you, because I don't remember the first race, but I guess he was, because I went back and looked. He wins his first race here in VOR in 2 career starts. So he was at the Michigan race, and he finished, yes, he finished 10th at the Michigan race last week. So not bad way to start your career. Two starts, 2 top 10s, one of which is a win. Christensen second. That's going to help him in this points championship. Orman was here for the win, and the win only, third. Julian really had nothing to lose because he already had the championship. He finishes 4th. Donskoy finishes 5th. Gallas with another top 10, and I think that's going to really help him in the championship. We'll see how the points settle up here, because I think they are in the process of being updated. Gretsch in 7th, Hesche in 8th, another top 10 for Hesche. He seems to be racking those up. Inch in 9th, Liam O'Sullivan 10th. Now, is that enough for Sullivan to get seconds? We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, so
Bonnie 11th.
On the racetrack.
What's that?
Go ahead. I said, so Vazzi staying on the racetrack and completing laps might be the extra position he needs to put himself between Santos and O'Sullivan to make a difference in the point standings.
True. Bonnie 11th, Savazzi 12th. Edson, not the finish he was looking for after starting for the pole. 13th, Steiger 14th, Coker 15th with the mechanical, and Griffin Yellen, who led very early, stormed right to the front, was leading by lap 8 after starting dead shotgun, pretty much shotgun on the field. Finishes 16th in that early incident. All right. And I don't have any session events to go back on here to queue up any replays. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way, and then we'll get into the interview. We'll bring up Jesper Orman first here. There's Jesper there. We'll use his fast lap. All right.
Want me to bring him up?
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring up Jesper Orman. Or you want me to grab him? There he is. Jesper, well, we're going to see you tomorrow for that IndyCar Championship. But today made a rare appearance in the DW12. Almost a win. What happened coming to the finish there?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. First of all, it was a fun race. 2 laps to go. It was a 2-way race there between me and Julian. I got boxed in by a lap car. It's all fine. And then he got in the lead, and I basically had one chance to get him. I needed a really good run. Might have, nudged him a little bit there on exit turn 4. And then he just came up. So what can you do? I mean, not much you can do. But overall, a fun race. It's really interesting how this car is. It has this really legacy feeling, and it's different from the $18. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because the 18 in this car are technically the same tub in real life, But this car,
Mm.
because it's legacy, it's a older tire model, different draft model, drives really differently. You kind of got to learn it a little bit all over when you, especially you're used to the IR18 like you. But piloted up front, you started from the pits today, so that caution that occurred really helped you out to get you back in the running here. On a bit of a different fuel strategy as well. For the rest of the field, you and Julian were kind of on a different fuel strategy. But I mean, really, you got nothing to lose in this race. You're just kind of here to win, and that's almost what happened. What do you think of your outlook for tomorrow, going into the big championship race with the IndyCar series?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I'm probably the favorite since I've won what is 6 or 7 races this season so far.
Yeah.
So I just gotta handle that pressure. I'm not sure about the track conditions. Is it going to be a night race or a day race? I'm not sure. But I just gotta know where Julian is, and I gotta race smart and make sure that I finish ahead of him. So yeah, it should be fun.
Well, we'll let you go on this Friday night for you, where you are located in this world. But shout out to any friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go.
This time I'll just say Slava Ukraini.
All right. Nice and simple. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night. Best of luck in that race. And until then, be good.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys.
All right. All right. We'll. I forgot to let you ask a question there, Kyle.
Totally okay.
Let me get up here. We go. Let's bring out John Christensen. This is a good finish for him to finish off this season. There he is. Not the best season for you, John, but a good finish here is always a good way to start off the next season on the right foot. P2 here, almost a win, was looking like a win there with about 20 or so to go. We thought you might have had the edge. Was there some fuel saving involved, or everyone just kind of got the drop on you and you couldn't recover?
Well, I mean, I was starting to get really excited because I actually thought I had it because we were pulling away from Jesper for a little bit. But I think just the tire advantage took over, and my tires were starting to be cooked. I wasn't treating them well. And then those 3 got by. Wasn't much I could really do at that point. I tried to make some moves. Liam helped me a lot, trying to get me some info about some correct lines, and also tried to help carry me along, and we did well for a little while. I guess just wasn't it, but I'll happily still take a second out of it. Best result of the season by a good amount.
Well, and it got you to 4th in the championship, so you got to feel pretty good about that in terms of Altena Autosports cars are 1st, 2nd, and 4th. So almost a podium sweep. I guess that's the goal for next season, is to get all 3 of you on the podium.
I would believe so. Yeah, I don't know just how I did so well in this season, and I haven't really done so great in IR18. But I think my worst finish was Michigan with a 9th. I think all the others were like a 7th or higher. But this one was just the first one to actually crack into a podium. And I nearly got really excited when we were coming to the line and they were wrecking, because I saw Miller phase right through a car that was coming across
It was close.
the track.
It was close.
I nearly spun myself coming across the line because I went on to the white line. But yeah, I'll happily take this result. It was pretty surprising in the season, and I'll hope to do it again next season, and hopefully in the IR18 as well.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, do you think you can take anything you learned today and apply it to the race tomorrow? I know these cars race really differently, and I don't know if you have insider knowledge. Jesper didn't seem to know the time of day of the race tomorrow. Do you know if it will also be a night race?
Well, funny you should mention tomorrow's race, because I actually got a race suspension.
Oh, I'm so sorry, John.
No, I mean, it's whatever. I was the one driving around the track with a broken wing at Detroit, but I don't know, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I might play team player, might just step away. I don't know, but I guess if this is the final race of the year for VOR for me, I'm gonna be happy with that.
Right. Well, go ahead. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. You've earned it with the podium finish today.
Yeah, of course. Shout out VOR for having me for another year. I think I've been on the team for about a year and a half now. It's been pretty. It hasn't seemed that long, but thank you to them for having me around, and then thank you to the sponsors: IFS Personal Financial Planning, P1 Broadcasting, and the Alzheimer's Association. Thank you for supporting the team. Um, and then just shout out to my parents because I think my dad. I think I saw him in the chat cheering me on. Um, if my mom was watching, which she wasn't able to watch, but if she was, she would be probably screaming when I was in the lead. And then shout out to my uncle for also being a supporter. Thank you guys.
All right. Well, we got to thank those family members as well. We appreciate you guys watching. Well, congratulations on the P2. Great way to finish the season on a high note. A couple weeks, and we will catch you at the first race of the season for, I guess we're now going to be season 5 of the, I think it's season 5 of the championship, and it will be at Texas. So we will catch you then.
Let's take us next season a little bit higher. Thank you.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and take them down there. And we'll go ahead and bring up Alexander Mill. We're going to learn about Alexander because we don't really know much about this guy. Making his, I think, his second start here in the series. So let me change the graphics around here. Here we go. And bring him on up. There he is. Alexander Mill. So is it Alex or Alexander, first of all?
You can just go with Alex if you want. I don't really care.
Right on. We just want to. First of all, we're going to address you as champ or winner today, but we definitely want to get this name right because we might be seeing more of you on the top step of the podium after this performance. This is we were talking about in the race your second start. You kind of showed up last week at Michigan, got a top 10 there, and then. Got a surprise win here in your second start at Las Vegas. But really, once you got to the front and started racing with the leaders, you kind of held on to them and drove up along with them up to the front and got the win. Congratulations. Talk about your race and talk about how you got yourself in that situation.
Yeah, last week at Michigan, I definitely think I had a lot more pace than what the result showed. I kind of blundered with the strategy when everyone got forced into either fuel save or go all out, and I picked wrong. But this week, the strategy actually ended up kind of playing out basically the same. So I just went the other way this week because I saw that's what everyone else was doing again. So that kind of helped me. I do actually, I'm sorry to Patrick and I believe Shane, there were a couple people involved in that first caution. I think I might have drifted up a little bit, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the replay. But yeah, sorry to those guys because I definitely didn't want to be involved with that. But other than that, I just I've learned a lot about this car in last week's race and I applied it this week.
Go ahead, Clindy.
There were a couple of instances out there where I know you've just apologized for maybe closer racing than you would like, but you were the benefactor at the end of the day of the closest racing with the most implications. How do you feel comfortable putting your car in a position where you know if your competitor to your inside gets hit with netcode or, if they make a mistake, it could end both your days? How do you rationalize that every lap? And how do you weigh that risk and reward?
I think once you do enough racing with this kind of stuff, you don't think about it too much. I do a lot of the dirt sprint cars, which are open wheel stuff on dirt. So I'm actually very used to very close quarters racing anyways. So I think I'm kind of just naturally pretty comfortable with it in these cars even.
Well, it's a great way to end the season on a high note with a win leading into the next season, which we hope we see that you will be a part of. Because you got to be considered one of the early favorites going into next season by getting a win right here on the last. It brings a lot of momentum into that offseason, into that opening race. So congrats. Any shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to for this big win?
Yeah, shout out to Taylor Mills for bringing me into the whole Taylor Mills Racing TMR program. She brought me in for another league with the IR18 that I was in for the past season, and I got second in points there and
Nice.
had a few wins. So glad to continue the winning ways even elsewhere and in a completely different race car. Well, half different. It's kind of the same car as the IR18, but
Right. Right. Well, it's good to have you here, and it's good to see a little bit more competition added into the series for next season, and we hope to see you part of next season. Well, congratulations on the win to close out this season. We'll go ahead and let you go celebrate, but big win for you to hear today in Las Vegas.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and we will bring up Julian. He is the defending series, now the current series champion, and get his thoughts on the end of the race there. Julian, we saw you hanging out in the waiting room, so we thought we'd bring you up. Definitely, you've earned your time to talk because you are now the series champion officially. Well, you were last week, but now officially you get to wear that crown for the off season going into the next season. But I guess the elephant in the room is what happened out of turn 4 between you and Jesper.
Hi, I was honestly not expecting an interview, to be honest. But
You're the champ, man, so we got to get you up here anyways.
I guess it's my league as well, right? No, but yeah, I used the lap car as a pick. They got out of the way, but they were on the inside, which is actually the lane which wears out the tires the most, so the least preferred line, so to speak.
Yeah.
So if you're in traffic, running that low line is really painful on the right front and also the right rear in a sense. But yeah, the lap cars were low, and I knew Jesper wanted the inside as well, so I just used the lap car as a pick and kind of trapped him there, which is how I got the lead in the first place. I thought it was a pretty smart move by myself. You know, I just have to call myself smart every once in a while when I'm pretty stupid usually. But yeah, coming to the checkered flag there, I was leading going into turn 3, and then I got hit up the rear, which shot me up the track. Because suddenly I had a lot more speed than what I was anticipating. But yeah, I heard you guys say that I was probably going to hold the white line, which is not really possible with the setup. We were supposed to have a different setup, but it never got sent in time, so we had to use the iRacing setup, and it was really packy at the start of the race and at the start of the run. But once people took different tire strategies under that first early yellow, it really just split up the whole field into what really was just a tire management race from there. And only at the end of the race, really, we were able to kind of pack up again and get to that exciting finish. It wasn't by design, but it just played out that way naturally. And yeah, you just couldn't hold the bottom with that setup. At least I couldn't. Maybe I just have a skill issue, but it was a fun race. Jesper thinks it's my fault. I disagree. I think it's more of a racing incident. But you know, that's just the way it is. I already won the championship, so like I told him, I'm not really too butthurt about it. It's just a shame that it happened, but you know, that's just the way it goes sometimes. So all that you can really say is overall that the race was really good. So can't really complain. Still got a 4th place out of it, which was better than I was expecting when I did not take tires, which I was one of the only 2 or 3 not to do on the first stop. And it really bit me in the butt because, like I mentioned, the tires really did fall off. And it wasn't a fun experience, I can tell you. In traffic with 14 other cars in front of you, I was just hanging on for dear life. But I got to the pit stop, and yeah, the rest played out like it did. I have to say, great job by John to finish 2nd. Yaroslav in his farewell DW12 race in 5th. Hugo 6th, and Dan 9th, I believe. Liam got a stop and hold penalty for just barely clipping the pit exit cone.
Oh.
So that put him like 3 laps down. Stop and hold 55 seconds is what he got for just barely clipping the cone. So yeah, unfortunate for him, but just a great result overall by the team today. Could have been a 1-3 or 1-4 really, but that's just the way it plays out sometimes. So yeah.
Real quick, shout outs, friends, family, sponsors for winning this championship for your second championship now in the Iconic Series.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys. IFS Personal Financial Planning for supporting the series by basically paying the entire bill for this broadcast. So thanks to Alex for doing that. He's also a pretty cool dude outside of that. So really want to thank him for just being a great friend of mine as well for personal stuff. And also the league. Want to thank everyone who came out to the race today. I know we've got a few new people in there who have a thing or two to learn, but that's what this series is for. So hopefully they return next season. Yeah, just everybody on the team did a great job today. Worked really well together, and hopefully tomorrow we can finish off the year in a strong form with Liam hopefully winning the championship. I still have an outside shot myself, but my main focus is most likely going to be on Liam. So we'll see what happens there. Don't think I missed anybody, and if I did, I'm sorry. But yeah, thanks to all the viewers, everyone who raced during the season, Wagner for helping with a couple of the setups. So yeah, that's it. Thanks everyone.
All right. Well, we'll drop you out of the room, let you get on with the rest of your Friday night. But congratulations on the championship, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yep. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Kyle.
Kyle, final thoughts here for the Iconic Series, Season 4. It was a bit of an interesting coming to the finish here.
Yeah, we started the season with a bang, 3 wide at Indianapolis. We're going to end the season with a bang here with a car in the catch fence on the front stretch and a last lap first-time winner, third to first. What a way to end the race. What a way to end the season. And, you know, with the championship not in question, the race proving to be this dramatic is such a fitting send-off where, you know, rookies have a fighting chance, just like Julian said. They're here to learn, and today they came out on top.
That is for sure. Now, a couple things. We'll do some housekeeping here before we get on out of here. Here is the Iconic Season 5 schedule coming up. Starting in January 10th, it'll be Clindy and me, same bat time, same bat channel, right here on the VOR channel on YouTube. We will be at Legacy, Texas, and then we'll be at Michigan, Milwaukee, Iowa, Legacy, Kentucky, Indianapolis for our 250-miler Indianapolis race there. Then we'll go Kansas, Legacy, Phoenix with the proper Phoenix, Auto Club, Homestead, and finish up at Chicagoland in May. So we're going to 11 races next season, a little bit more than the 8 we did this season. So we'll have a little bit more racing and a little bit longer to decide a championship. So we'll see that. Looking forward to that. And your points championship final standings here, we could bring it to you. Julian obviously clinched the championship last race, has an 81-point lead over Liam O'Sullivan, who finished second, who has a finished by second over 7 points, by 7 points, over Edson Santos, who finished third, Christensen fourth, Silvazzi fifth, Hugo Gallas very quietly with a solid mid-pack top 10 championship finish. He's in sixth. Daniel Hesse, who we probably could classify him as a possible favorite for next season, considering he had a couple podiums this season, finishes seventh. Craig Forsyth, eighth. I think if Forsyth participates in a full season, we could probably expect him as a championship contender. Matthias Strauss is in ninth, and Dan Inch 10th. And that is your top 10 for the Season 4 championship. Other than that, tomorrow night is the big race here at Vegas as well. Myself and Ryan Eric King for the IndyCar Championship. We will decide a championship for Season 12 of the IndyCar Championship. You heard kind of who's all involved there. Will be Jesper Orman, will be Liam O'Sullivan, and Julian mathematically is involved with a extreme outside shot, but we're at least going to have 3 drivers mathematically involved in that championship tomorrow night. Join us. That's going to be at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern time next tomorrow night on Saturday. So let's get on out of here and give everyone back their Saturday or their Fridays here. I wish it was Saturday. Well, actually, I don't, because that means the weekend's 1 day away from being over. Although, really, this is my last day for work for the rest of the year for real work. So it doesn't really matter. I got like an extended vacation all the way through the first week of January now. So let's live it up. But Alexander Miller with the win today. Big surprise win and a very happy win, and good to see a new first-time winner here in the league. Right now, second, John Christensen and Jesper Orman just showing up to win and trying to get the big win here in a rare off race for him, but maybe trying to gain some intel for tomorrow, the big IndyCar Championship race. He finishes third. And once again, congratulations to our Series 4 champion, Julian Altena. He's now a two-time champion here in the Iconic Series. Join Clendy and myself again here in a couple of weeks. And that will be January 10th, Friday, January 10th, 2025, as we start this all over again for round 1 of Season 5 of the VOR Iconic Series. As we open a brand new season up at Texas Motor Speedway. Coverage, as always, will start approximately at 3 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 3:00 p.m. Eastern. Remember, it's a new time, or it's a new season. So at the same time, new season. So just for the correct broadcast times in your area and all the reminders you need, you can find everything right here on the Velocity Online Racing channel at youtube.com/ and just do a keyword search, Velocity Online Racing. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help us support us. Please help support us with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought of today's race. And as you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, or while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of Velocity Online Racing's other iRacing programming, including tomorrow, our big race right here in Las Vegas, the IndyCar Championship. We're going to decide on the championship tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. Me, Ryan Eric King, and who's it going to be? Jesper Orman, Julian, or Liam? Find out. Tune in. The VOR Iconic Series is brought to you by IFS Personal Financial Planning. IFS Personal Financial Planning specializes in helping their clients make the most out of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for over 20 years, helping them navigate the complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and the ever-changing legislative landscape. To learn more, you want to contact Alexander Bonney at alex@ifspfp.com. And you'll find that email in the description, so you want to use it today. That's alex@ifspfp.com, and IFS Personal Financial Planning, proud sponsors of the VOR Iconic Series. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about Velocity Online Racing and what they do, visit velocityonlineracing.com. Like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. So for everybody that's helped me in the booth this season, Brian Campbell, Kyle Klendworth, everyone on the Velocity Online Racing channel, and the Velocity Online Racing League and organization, thank you very much. I'm Gary Godsoe saying to all, happy Friday, and thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again. Well, first of all, once again, congratulations to this season's series champion, Julian Altena, for his second championship. And you can catch us again right here, January 10th, 2025 at Texas for the next race up, the Velocity Online Racing Iconic Series. Happy holidays, and we'll see ya.